That's for tomorrow's show.
No, it's not, because you cancelled. No, dude, I'm taking the I understand, okay? I'm taking the Mickey. I'm taking the Michael. I'm taking the George Michael. It's Thanksgiving. You should be with family and friends and get fucking fat and fucked. That's what you should be getting tomorrow.
We are.
No, it's all good. What I've done, I've already changed my plans, dude. I've already done. I'm going to do my super chat square tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow now. So it gives me extra time. I can just chill now with that. And then after that's finished, I'm jumping straight to the Critical Drinkers channel. And we're going to talk Predator.
Oh.
So, hey-o. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages.
We're here.
We are here.
We're
here. We're queer. We're fucking full of beer. I don't know. Anything that rhymes. Rob, how you doing, mate?
I got my shore troopers. She sells shore troopers down by the seashore.
Shore troopers on the seashore.
Yeah. The shore troopers, these are the first figures from Rogue One. I missed out on the Rogue One figures.
These are slightly different. The Rogue One shore troopers are slightly different, so they will retain their unfortunately exceedingly high price.
It's true. But one day I will do something where I have enough money where I don't care. I will just be able to buy whatever Hot Toys figures I was missing. That Hela, click. That Gladiator Thor, click. Gladiator Hulk, click. Don't care. Or as the drinker would say, don't care.
Don't care. No, that's good, dude. I tell you what, I gotta say, having the shore commander and now 2 shore troopers to go with him, damn, they look fucking great. And I'm just thinking, maybe a couple more shore troopers. Maybe a couple more to get, because they just look damn great. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? But they love them. I love them. I think they're such a great aesthetic. They are. I've got the guns into some great positions, but it's all been packed away now. They were everything all the figures, the 501st gone.
Oh, you packed them all back up?
It's all been packed. It's all been packed away because stuff is starting to be shifted away.
Yeah.
In lieu of it looks like the new year is going to be when the new channel comes, new year. That's the plan now.
Right,
so it's all gravy, baby. Toy channel, new year. This done, new year. I'm going to take a little bit of time off at Christmas. We're going to take a good week off at Christmas.
No, you?
Yeah. And I'm going to just be sorting it all out. It all out. And then January 1st or whenever, just like, boom, got my regular channel, this one. And then we're going to have something for the new one.
The sex channel?
Kind of lingers.
Well, we are cunning linguists, as it is.
The thought of you kind of lingers.
Well, there are a few things I'm as skilled at, but it's not for me. That's not for me to blow my own horn on. That's for others.
No, I can't show my shut up lines. I can't do that. Can't do that. I'd just be completely out of order.
It's true.
I just remember being in a pub once, having a few beers, and I was mucking around with my friends, and these 2 lasses, they came near to us to dance, and then one of them sort of just pushed a friend towards me, and the friend just sort of sat on my lap, and she's like, "Hi," and I was like, and I just looked up and went, "I'd really like to disappoint you sexually." She fucking laughed her ass off. Boom. There you go.
As long as she laughed, as long as she laughed. And that way, what's great about it is it can only go up from there. When you prove yourself to be a Yorksman of note, then she
I
can.
told you.
Yeah. Then no. Then she goes back and tells her friends, "Hey, guess what?
This man is honest.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you gonna do?
Hopefully a lot of things. Hey, look, just a little gadget I'll show you that's gonna get utilized next year. You know what this is?
Is that a sanding? Is that a tweezers? A sanding board? Oh,
That's a Pocket 2 4K 4K stabilizer vlogging cam.
that is very cool. And you can hold that up and
yeah, and the stabilizer keeps it nice and level, so you can, so when you're moving it around, it's not
yeah.
When you're walking, it's not
yeah. Not
oh
bad.
man. I made a few purchases. Right. Do you know what? I'm limiting myself this month. I kind of limited myself a little bit last month, but I'm limiting myself this month to just 5 tops.
Why such are you talking about the month of November, which is almost over, or
Yeah.
December?
December, go wild. No, I want to start saving. I want to just start doing some saving.
Yeah.
And I've got so much on pre-order, but so much stuff kind of comes up for pre-order. It's just like,
you know what I really want? I mean, we're going to have, unfortunately, where I live, we're going to have to move because the house we've been in for the last 5 years, our landlords are going to sell it. So we have to move.
From here, from where you are now.
Yeah. So which if for me, I just look around at the observatory and think, what a nightmare. Yeah, I just can't even.
That's a road trip, that one.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. But it's always fun to go through stuff and throw stuff away and what do you need but what I want to do is I wherever I go next, hopefully I'll be there for a long time and I can build things out, because when I moved in here I didn't know I was going to be a YouTuber. So, or that I didn't know there was going to be a global pandemic.
I'm a Hollywood producer, baby.
Yeah, I just didn't even know. So wherever we go, wherever we find ourselves.
You know who I am. Have you any idea who I fucking am? I'm Robert Mad fucking Burnett, baby.
Yeah, that never works. Although it is funny to get, in LA, I do get recognized quite a bit, and everybody's pretty positive about it.
Nice.
But I knowing what I know now, it would be great to have organized this place from the very beginning to be more conducive to streaming, even though we can stay here for another year. So I am gonna.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's not a.
Yeah, and
I have time.
We have time. So I'm gonna still do what I'm doing and finish this out, like you, over the in December. Really trick this place out, get everything organized.
Yeah.
Because I do want to do things like I've got these kits, these parts. I do streams, build things. I've been buying a lot of. The thing that I bought this week was modeling supplies. I got some really nice new snippers I needed. I've been getting a lot of painting clips and things like that. So there's a lot of. I would like to go on a model building tear. I probably have 50 model spaceships here that are not finished.
Well, I got boxes and boxes of bits of Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, I got multiple Enterprises. I got Martino's Enterprise that's half constructed. You have to wire that shit up. That's not some just you can't throw that shit together. It's so much fun to build up.
I think that's going to be my first video. Is the Playmobil Enterprise?
Yeah,
that's the plan, great. Because it's just such a great thing, and I think it's just a wonderful centerpiece to start the channel off with.
Yeah, it's great, and it's it's a fun. It's fun because the construction, there's not like lots of little pieces. I mean, the pieces are even the small. They're just fun to hold in your hand, and it is a wildly entertaining and satisfying.
Always fun to hold in your hand.
It's always fun to hold in your hand. I mean, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, doing. You know what? couple of things, man. Even my partially payments at Toys Wonderland, I can't seem to, for whatever reason, whenever I log in, they issue me invoices. It will not allow me to pay my shipping. Toys Wonderland, help me. I've got like, they keep stacking up.
I had 2 partialies, both paid off.
Did you paid off the shipping? So when they're ready to send them.
No. The only reason why I put these on partially is because they said, oh, this is not going to be released until middle of next year or something in next year. And for some reason, they're the only 2 partialies that I've done on Toys Wonderland. I always pay Toys Wonderland outright. Right. So these are the only 2. So I had one, which was the Henry Cavill Witcher. And then I had the partially... let's see, here we go. See what the other one was, because that was like, you've paid and now you've completed it. Oh, and that was for okay, so that was for my Hound Troop, one of my Japanese ladies with guns.
Yeah, that's paid off. Yeah,
so that's paid off.
That comes out, by the way, that comes in like the next 2 weeks.
Well, I've heard that the Green Goblin is shipping anytime.
Yeah,
and I cannot wait for that, because that's oh my god, that's the one I've been so excited about. It looks so good, so original. So yeah, I've been really excited. And then we hey, let me go and bring something up, because we were talking about kind of like our sort of wish list of what we could have if we could have a 1 in 6, knowing that Hot Toys were not going to do it, really. And then when this came up for pre-order, I was just like, yeah, that's the Loki figure that I'm going to get.
Oh, dude. First of all, Richard E. Grant, one of my favorite actors. How can you not? And So Toys crushes it.
Oh, no, look at this head sculpt, man.
Dude, it's perfect. I mean, well, come on.
It's awesome. So Toys they are so, I mean, but they are so good.
They are so good. You know what? I would dare say they're right up there. They're very close to Hot Toys quality. Very close.
Yeah. Look, you get Loki with it. Do you get little Loki with it?
Yes, you do.
But look at that. Oh my god, that chair, dude. You'd wet yourself.
I looked at that chair and I I mean, come on now. No, I mean, and it comes. Look at that, and he even comes with a second head sculpt where he's look at that. Look at the frog. Come on,
Frog Thor. Damn.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I come on. Who doesn't want this?
That was one of the only bits of Loki that I loved was Richard E. Grant's Loki, and when he was creating this illusion of Asgard and just being an absolute fucking boss.
Dude, so good.
Damn.
It was so good.
Look at that, man. That's just great.
Mm-hmm.
That is just great. There we go.
Look
we
at all
got
those
alligator Loki. We got Frog Thor. We got a beautiful chalice. Stand looks nice as well. So Toys do good stands.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, look at those hand effects and battle damage helmet when he gets killed.
Yeah.
So you could just have that in another display or any display. You could have it next to Tom Hiddleston in a beige suit.
I mean, and if you wanted to, yeah, I look at this and I just think, my God, come on.
Perfect.
Doesn't get much better.
Yeah, I might have snuck that in for a pre-order before I decided to do my.
You're 5 in a month.
My budget. My budget for the white. Hey, I've been doing a budget for the last couple of months now, and it's been working. It's my impulse control is slightly in check. But hey,
good.
No, it's good. It is good. I got a little something. I just got one little thing. Well, yeah, I've got one little thing to show off. I've actually got two things, but I stupidly packed away one of them when I was packing away all of this stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, folks, you can see a picture of it. But my the Vigilante arrived, i.e., my Nightwing.
Yes. Mine is, I don't know where mine is, but it's paid off. It's en route. That's another great so figure.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Justin's review of it. It's incredible. Did you get the Robin?
Yes,
you did.
I have the Air, and I think Gary's sending me the So Toys one with the
this figure
change of head sculpt.
It's so good. And I love this figure so much. You know, I'm a huge Teen Titans fan, and even though the show is not my Teen Titans, I still want all of the Teen Titans because I love, you know, the Marv Wolfman, George Perez version. Because I don't care if it's the CW or whatever, the HBO Titans now. I mean, I just want the Titans, and to have a Robin and Nightwing display. Come on, man.
Oh. Hey, by the way, hail to Critical Drinker who's in the chat. How you doing, dude?
By the way, Critical Drinker's last video again crushed it. If you got to watch his series on what's wrong with movies today, he dropped another video. It was yesterday, right? I think it came out yesterday. Part of a series.
Yeah. It's already past 410,000.
It's an incredible video. You know, it's really interesting. I've been watching some of my favorite YouTubers, Drinker. The Red Letter Media analysis of Ghostbusters Afterlife is really good too. Yeah,
I saw that. I'm kind of in the same. I spoke about it yesterday on the Real BBC. I saw it, and I was kind of like, you know, it's fine as a film, but to me, it wasn't a Ghostbusters movie. It was Stranger Things. You know, it's kind of more akin to Stranger Things. I didn't find there was that cynical humor. I didn't find that there was that bite about it. It was to me, it felt like the Superman Returns of
interesting
of the Superman universe. It was more, I want to pay homage to the director like Bryan Singer did with Dick Donner. And when you do that, you lose a fair bit because you're trying to hit certain notes which are more directorial than actual entertainment. And I thought the girl was great. I thought she was really good. Because she's like 13, 14 something in real life. And she was great. But you know, the guy, the brother, why was he, you know, he didn't do anything. His girlfriend, she didn't do anything. I quite like Podcast. He was quite funny. I thought he kind of reminded me, oh God, don't come down on me like a ton of bricks, please, people. But he sort of had that sort of not quite as obnoxious, but that sort of kid in Temple of Doom vibe.
Short Round.
Yeah. Short Round. Yeah. About him, but like I said, less obnoxious and actually more interesting. Yeah, and it was schmaltzy, and it's like that's not Ghostbusters.
Right.
Ghostbusters is well, it started off being three very cynical men trying to basically hustle their way through starting a business, and it didn't really have that much to do with ghostbusting until really the end. It was more about, you know, it's more about basically trying to live the American dream, trying to get a business, you know, thrive, fucking everything up in the process. And but look, I found it like non-offensive or anything like that. I wouldn't say it was a bad film, but I just found it middle of the road for me.
Now let me ask you this: did you watch Hawkeye?
I haven't yet. I have heard horror stories so far.
I watched the first episode.
Because Because there's 2 episodes, isn't there?
Yeah, I have 2 episodes. I watched the first episode. I found it intriguing. I don't know where it's all gonna go from there. Um, it was interesting seeing Jeremy Renner out, a superhero outside of being what does a superhero do when he's not being a superhero, especially a family man? But for me, it was a little I have to say I'm a little underwhelmed by it. It depends where it's gonna go.
Mm.
We shall see.
To me, this should be Die Hard. This should be Die Hard with Hawkeye.
Well, that's kind of what I was hoping for, and it's a little less, it was a little bit more domestic drama, than I was expecting. And to that end, I'm like, okay, well, I'll go with it. It's really nicely made, but I haven't seen enough. I've only watched the first episode.
I saw a review that gave it 5 out of 10. And one of the positives that it gave was it's set at Christmas, which is different. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, the thing is, like, Iron Man 3 is set at Christmas. Because Shane Black's movies are set at Christmas. And it was funny. I was watching Iron Man 3 the other day. I was just zipping. I have a tendency, like, just zipping through. I watch franchise properties and I'll watch like 5 or 10 minutes of them and just zip through them. And I was kind of enjoying Iron Man 3. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah,
and,
I saw it recently and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a different kind of a movie, but it's more of this domestic. Tony Stark kind of goes on the lam or takes a little vacation.
That's what I liked about it. Yeah, what I didn't like about Iron Man 3 was this stupid Guy Pearce Mandarin, which was terrible. And the Pepper Potts getting super powered and all that sort of typical superhero stuff that they had to put in. And I was kind of like, I just wanted Iron Man in this back town, I don't know what you called it, but back street passage, I don't know.
Yeah.
Backward sort of town, small town, trying to sort of like, because he's going through like PTSD and stuff, and I thought the relationship with him and the kid was great.
It was
just like, oh, my dad went out for some smokes, that was 6 years ago, didn't come back. And he's just like, boom. It's just great, it's just great because you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And
nope.
So I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of that, but of course it has to go back to, we gotta get the explosions and we can't have an older Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. No, we gotta have this younger Guy Pearce doing a terrible fucking Riddler impression at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
But there you go. But there's some really good elements of that. So anime.
Have you watched Arcane?
No, I hear it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about League of Legends. Do I have to know anything about League of Legends?
No. It's kind of like Dota in that sense. Dragon's Blood. You don't. I'm surprised people were telling me to delve into it. It's really good.
I've only heard good things, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. I've been watching a few things. I've just watched the whole of Hellbound.
And what did you think of that?
Oh, I loved it.
It's really good.
Oh, I loved it.
And it really surprised me. Just the questions that it brings up.
Oh, the theological question. Yeah.
It was surprisingly. I'm all about the philosophy, and it was surprisingly engaging on that level. I thought it was going to be more of a monster. I didn't realize that it was dealing with belief and cults and and I'm like, wow, it's so right up my alley, and it's fantastic. And then of course, I don't want to ruin it for anybody if you haven't seen Hellbound. It's the perfect holiday fare. And I think that when people I was surprised by the middle of what happens in the middle of the show. Let's just say time jump.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that. It was again, I mean, I'm not saying that every single thing from a foreign country is better simply because it's foreign. But I have to say, whether it's
kind of tends to be.
well, Korean cinema and Korean programming is really fascinating stuff, especially when it comes to genre material. Science fiction, fantasy, and horror coming out of Korea has been really heady, very, very
just
well
imaginative,
written,
just very imaginative, and different.
And I just find, I mean, I hate to say it, I think American films. I mean, I
Well, that's
love
because America's too busy making remakes and reboots and sequels and prequels, and there's no originality. And then you go over to Korea, and it's like, right, we need something different. We need the next different thing. And so it just feels like a breath of fresh air that I'm not watching something 8, or I'm not watching, the next Marvel movie to tie in. But don't worry, because nothing's going to matter in this Marvel movie, because this is setting up the next Marvel movie.
Well,
and
I have to
nothing
say,
will matter in that either.
I mean, I can't recommend enough Lin-Manuel Miranda's Tick, Tick, Boom. It's his first directorial feature, and it's about the life of Jonathan Larson, who wrote the Broadway play Rent.
Okay.
But he passed away. He never even saw it, because he passed away from an aortic condition right when the show was opening for previews off Broadway. So Rent, which became a Broadway smash, the very composer who created it, he never saw it. He never saw his efforts reach fruition. And this is a really interesting. So he had written a rock confessional called Tick, Tick, Boom, and Lin-Manuel Miranda took that and then wrapped around his life story into that, and things that happened to him when he was turning 30 and friendships he had. I thought it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it and I was like, wow, here's a movie about an adult and striving to create art, and done by someone like Lin-Manuel Miranda, who really crushed it in terms of his direction and the casting. And Andrew Garfield is the lead, and who knew? But he sings, he dances, he just kills it. Yeah, I know. Maybe he'll show up in Spider-Man. But it was really nice to see an actor, and I've been a fan of Andrew Garfield's. I don't know if you saw it. It was a British show, and it was done in 3 parts. And now I'm drawing a blank on what it was called, but it was 3 different looks in 3 different time periods. It was a crime thriller. I'll tell you what it is. And I have it on, and why am I drawing a blank on this? I'm drawing a blank on it now, but it was the first time I really saw Andrew Garfield in anything. And he just crushed it. And I thought he was great, like in The Social Network. I thought he was terrific. And I liked him.
I was in Doctor Who.
Yep. Yes. The thing that he was in that I'm drawing a blank on, it was early in his career. Let me find it. Let's see. Why?
I saw Social Network at the cinema.
Oh, the Red Riding trilogy.
Okay.
The Red Riding trilogy, where he played a character named Eddie Dunford. If you guys, it was TV. It was done for British TV, but it was set in 74, 80, and 83. He was incredible in that, and he did it just after he did Doctor Who. And it's he was great. So Tick, Tick, Bang is great, and or Tick, Tick, Boom. It was just nice to see something that isn't like a truly adult fare, because a lot of my favorite movies are not necessarily science fiction, fantasy, and horror.
No,
some of my favorite movies are things like All About Eve, which was in 1950, set in the theater, and it's one of the greats. Or if you want to watch a movie called The Sweet Smell of Success with Tony Curtis and Burt Lancaster, and it is one of the most caustic movies you will ever see, man. It's dark. Well, and it's also set in the theater in New York.
2 of my favorite movies of all time are The 39 Steps.
So good.
And North by Northwest. They're 2 of my favorite films of all time. Love going,
made by, of course, Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock. Mm-hmm. 2 of my favorite films. I could say I'm a bit of a Hitchcockian.
So I don't doubt that.
I do like Frenzy. I do like watching Frenzy. Frenzy, I think's a great little.
My favorite Hitchcock film is Rear Window. mostly
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I love Rear Window, but you know, it's funny the I fall in love with not actresses, but characters those actresses play.
Mm.
And Grace Kelly's character in Rear Window, the way she really loves Jimmy Stewart, and she comes over to his house not with a bunch of suitcases, but a small overnight case packed with military precision. You know, it's everything she needs, and her love for him is so genuine, and she's so gorgeous and so spunky and plucky and cool. It's like, how can you not want to meet someone like Grace Kelly's character in Rear Window?
How can you not?
On the flip
No,
side, then I like the psychopathic murderer that Sharon Stone played in Basic Instinct. So I don't know what that says about me, but she dresses well.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Basic
I mean, what's
Instinct.
not to love about
It's a guilty pleasure movie, I think. That
I mean,
one.
she's a famous author. She likes having sex on cocaine. She's a murderess. She
Mm-hmm.
thinks 4 steps ahead, and she dresses really well, and she's super rich.
Yeah,
How can you not love her
it's hot,
character?
really, really hot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just kind of going back, Hellbound's got a really interesting premise. If you don't
Yep.
know the premise is you get visited by an angel, and the angel tells you how long you've got left to live. And
Send
when
you a
that,
text message. You can always look at it on your cell phone
yeah,
if you need to.
yeah, yeah, set the timer, and
Set
then
that timer.
when that time runs out, 3 demons are gonna come and they're gonna pummel the shit out of you and then drag you to hell.
And with before burning you, I mean, they burn you to a crisp. You know what I
Yeah.
loved? You know what I really one of the things that I really, really love is seeing outlandish, dark fantasy concepts in the real world. So one of the things I loved about Hellbound, like the opening scene, you're in the middle of like Seoul.
Sorry, I just got a knock at the door. Can you vibe for a sec?
I can.
Cheers.
So for those of you who don't know, if this is your jam, so the beginning of Hellbound, it's set in modern day Seoul, you know, and you're in a coffee shop and you're listening to these people kind of have this innocuous conversation about their daily lives and friends and this kind of thing. And then there's another man sitting off in the corner who looks incredibly beleaguered. And you see news reports about something is going on, weird reports. And then this guy is looking at his cell phone. He's looking at a specific time, like, I don't know, 1:23 or something, and then the date. And he's clearly not having a good time. And then these like earthquakes seem to be happening, and everyone's looking around going, What's going on? And then these giant imagine the Thing, Ben Grimm, the Fantastic Four is the Thing. But imagine if the Thing was black sooted and made out of volcanic rock, but it was the darkest, blackest volcanic rock you can imagine with sort of heat emanating from it. And 3 of these things smash their way into the coffee shop, and you're looking at clearly horror, dark fantasy elements in broad daylight. These creatures are right out of a Lovecraftian nightmare. And they come in, they burst their way into the coffee shop. If they hurt innocent bystanders, they don't care. And this guy manages to elude them and starts running down the city streets. And these 3 creatures barrel after him, smashing cars, jumping on things. They don't care if they kill bystanders or not. They are hunting this guy down, and they finally get him. I mean, and then they basically just eviscerate this poor dude. They take his head and smash it into the side of a bus, drag it down the side. I mean, then they're doing what Hulk did to Loki, puny god in Avengers. They're doing that to this poor dude, and they just completely eviscerate this dude. And then at the end, they all 3 put their hands on him and burn him to a crisp as his soul is torn from his body. And then they take him to hell through what looks like some kind of a portal in reality. Or they leave. He's already there. He's already in hell. And from that opening, then it becomes like this police procedural. And it's so great because all of these dark fantasy elements are so incongruous with the very set in the real world soul of modern day. And I this is one of my favorite things. I love when horror is set amongst reality, when you're not in the mountains of Carpathia or something, and I love that. So everything I was loving, all the boxes were being ticked for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then there's a cult, and then there's discussion of the theology of all of this and what's really going on. And I can't tell you, if somebody sat down and said, Rob, what kind of elements would you like to see in a horror series from Korea? These tick all of my boxes.
Yeah, I'd just say let them go for it.
And they did.
Let them go for it, because I love the I just love the kind of concept of where stuff goes. This goes kind of places. And,
it really does.
The ending.
Yeah. The ending is, I'll tell you what it reminded me.
Well, the ending for season 1 is definitely going to be another season.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I love, probably I think more than a lot of people, was I love the 3rd series of Torchwood, Children of Earth.
Children of Earth was great.
It reminded me. I mean, it has nothing to do. Children of Earth and Hellbound have nothing to do with one another, but the idea of this science fiction horror concept happening in the real world and everything that was going on, the seriousness of it, the fact that if you guys have never seen, I had never seen an episode of the Torchwood series. I'd seen Captain Jack on Doctor Who, but I hadn't seen the Torchwood series. It was the first time I ever watched Torchwood. And it was one of those things where I got it, I threw it on. I figured, I'll watch. It was like 1 a.m. I'd come back from work and I had nothing to do. And I had to watch all 5 hours of it. I watched it until like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, this is the greatest 5 hours of TV ever. And I was not about to go to bed. There was no way.
It was dark as fuck, man.
Dude, it was, I'm like, I wonder, because I was thinking, Torchwood, isn't this like it's Doctor Who? When is it going to be fun? And, no. It was, and that's why I loved it.
Starred Capaldi as well. Capaldi was in and
he was Frobisher. He was so good in this. I mean, my God. And if you guys haven't seen Torchwood Children of Earth, don't read anything about it.
Yeah. Don't look up about it. Go in blind. And it's some great sci-fi disturbing horror.
Yeah. It is yeah. When you find out what's going on, I'm like, I can't, like, oh my God.
I know it's just like,
just like, wow.
But no, we can't because there's stuff to give away. Speaking of disturbing, I have a figure here, third-party figure, because the actual company themselves not making 1 in 6 figures of these. The first episode of this anime is pretty fucking disturbing. Then it kind of just goes into it, like, not a typical anime because it's still pretty violent, but it's sort of like, normalizes, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And somebody recently sent me the Blu-ray of it, so I'm going to watch it again because I really enjoyed it first time I saw it. But from that, the third party, it's the Sword Maiden. And the anime that I'm talking about, of course, is Goblin Slayer. So this is a third party, and look at that. I mean, this sword, man, with the scales.
Can you go full frame on that?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go.
I love that, the sword of justice.
Full frontal on that. Yeah. So this is the like I said, this is the Sword Maiden, who used to be an adventurer on a very first adventure. She was captured by the goblins, and when the goblins catch you, they do some very fucked up shit to you women, as you would expect in these sort of animes. And she escaped, and then she became the Sword Maiden. And then before she did that, she like recovered, and then killed one of the like goblin demons or something. Then she became the Sword Maiden. That's her sort of backstory. So that's where she is when you first meet her. She's like this, and she's got like little like white scars on her where they like cut her, cutting her and stuff. And her eyes have still yet to fully recover, but that's why she wears the black.
It's nice.
But it's cool because it's like Justice is Blind. You know, there's all these Justice references with her, with the scales of justice, and then Justice is Blind and all that sort of stuff. So this is third party, and I think this is already sold out. These get sought after pretty quickly. When
Those anime figures go, when they're, especially like when they're like that, they go really fast.
Yeah, but I found a cheeky little website, which is you might be lucky enough to get one or two of these things on them. But what I'm going to show now is this is up for pre-order, and this is also a third party, and this is from Goblin Slayer, but this is called Goblin Killer, and this is the mage, the witch, the mage, whatever you want to call her.
Oh my!
So she's up for pre-order. Great, that hat is just so good.
Yeah, that's a great figure.
So it's like, you know, great. I mean, it's great. Fucking look at that pipe, man. I mean, the only thing I'll be critical of is the fact that the heads are just generic heads, you know.
Yeah,
they're not like the characters' heads. That's the only sort of thing.
Yeah, it is kind of a bummer. I just don't know what they would do. Like, you know, if you were going to go more full anime, it would look. I mean, it's obviously it's not supposed to be realistically human, but I think it's a good compromise between it's kind of a halfway point between, you know.
So that's near bad. So I've got this on pre-order. And then this just came up for pre-order very recently. And this is the Archer from Goblin Slayer. Wow. But they're calling this one the Elven Archer from like Goblin Hunter or something. So this is another one of the characters from the show again. The face is generic, but it's the Elven
that
Archer.
Looks great though.
And the outfits are exactly like the outfits from the show.
Yeah, they look great.
And then this one's got some great accessories with her because she's got around the belt, she's got these like knives, and she's got this great blank quiver. Woof. She's got this great quiver for the arrows. You can see the daggers that go on the side of her. She's got the separate arrows. So that's another great one. So if you're a Goblin Slayer fan and into your 1-in-6s, there you go. Look at that. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. Then they are sneaking out these third parties, and as soon, I mean, I'm keeping my eye open for hopefully I'm sort of weebing. I know I'm a bit weebing here, but I do like them. But I'm really kind of like holding out for them to actually do Goblin Slayer, the dude, because that armor is so fucking good. And I don't know if they might get an LED in the helmet so you get that red eye sort of glinting. So as somebody who really enjoyed the anime, to kind of get those, and also this one here, the cover, the box, like the first wraparound is metallic, the whole thing, so both sides would just peel off, and if you turn that around, then it's actually got an image of like the cathedral area that she's part of, so you can just put that behind the character as well for a little bit of background. But yeah. So anime lovers, there is some good 1-in-6 love out for you at the moment. But that knock at the door was a delivery.
Something
which
good.
It's not up here. It's I can't get it up here at the moment. Oh. But let me just bring up what it is. Okay. So this has just arrived, folks, and I gotta say, I think I made the right decision to get it because it's already out of stock.
Oh.
So I ended up getting the Home Alone house, which I thought would be quite good. So that's the outside. That's what you kind of get with it. You get the over here, you got the tree house. Then this whole thing, if I go through the
Daniel Stern and who would have ever thought that you'd have Joe Pesci as a Lego minifig?
Just the thought is boggling me, you know. But look at this, the whole front opens up.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The whole of the front of the house opens up. The table, you know, you got some great rooms here. Okay,
really cool.
plumbing and heating. Look at that, that's the back. So I wasn't. It looks so great when it's been built there. Like, it's so good. I wasn't. I was kind of more. I think I'm gonna. And then I pulled the trigger, and when I decided to pull the trigger, it said this is already on back order, but it's shipping soon. And then I was like, okay, fine. Then it just arrived, and now opening this up, now it says temporarily out of stock. So this has been clearly flying off the off the shelf as But I think this is look, this ain't modeled for kids. This ain't modeled at you kids. This is for adults. This is for adults. Shut the frick up.
It's like the picture of the Playmobil Enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, it's you've got 30-somethings sharing a glass of wine over their Enterprise set piece.
Look at all of this though. The whole thing just opened up there. And then all closed up there. Wow. And then there are your figs. Absolutely fantastic. Now then, let's see what we got over here. Oh, okay. Yeah. You want to show this off? Okay, let's open some.
Well, this was in a super chat. So I thought I'd throw that out. So when we get to the supery dupery, I think because I have stuff to say about this.
Okay. That's cool. I'm not going to get distracted by social media. We're done. Right. Okay. Speaking of super chats, then let's open that up. Thank you for the super chats, folks. You know, as always, we do our talky bit and then we get to the super chat. So appreciate that. Oh man, there's a few that has come in as well. So let's go through some of these. Ask and answer. I'm getting cotton mouth again. Getting cotton mouth.
Are you going to get the black suit Spider-Man from No Way Home?
I
can't.
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to get the sort of Iron Spider Redux, whatever you want to call that one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think I'm going to get that. But the sort of Doctor Strange black one, I would say at the moment in time, no.
All right.
I'd say at the moment in time, no. So first super chat, as the spaz with a £5 says, any news, gents, on Dune hot toys? No. P.S. Awesome Danny Trejo interview, Mr. Burnett.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Midnight's Edge, another one of those great interviews that they hook up. That was a lot of fun to do with Andre and Polly from Latino Slant and myself. What a great guy he is. Mr. Trejo was
he's had a life.
He has had a life. What a wonderful dude. What a positive force, and it was my honor to speak with him.
Wow.
I had a great time.
Women, they can do things. That'll always be my favorite line from Danny Trejo. Martino Simone, who was the beautiful our benefactor for our Playmobil Enterprises, God bless you, sir, with a 20 Swiss francs, says, Mom, look! Those are the two who told me to buy everything at the toy store.
No. We're very discerning in our tastes.
Could you identify him in a crowd? Could you?
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, you know the rule? The rule is the answer is always yes.
I'll tell you a story.
Why? Nikki, why? Why would you say such a horrible thing?
I think she's trolling.
Why would you say such a horrible thing, Nikki? What did we ever do?
Why, Nikki? Why do you do these things?
What did we ever do? Hey, actually, before we go, Buffett, thank you, man. We'll get to that as well. Before we carry on, we'd want 2 super chats in. So we got plenty of time, don't worry. Did you see the announcement from Star Trek?
Yeah, how they're now they've gone back on. Well, we're not going to show it to our European fans. Oh, wait, we heard you. We're going to make sure you all get to see. And I was curious. I saw the announcement today, but I'm like, where is it going to? Are they going to put it back on Netflix? Like, how are people going to see it?
They're putting it. There's apparently a free streaming service in the UK called something like gonorrhea.com, and they're going to put it on there. Wow,
it's nice to know that the people running the Star Trek franchise really understand the business of Hollywood.
Well, it's not just Europe. It's like we've listened to you, whole of the world, who have been desperate for Star Trek Discovery. We're gonna give it to you all internationally as well. So it's gonna come out, and that's just like, wow, nobody gives a fuck. Are you sort of have you just realized that when it's only out in America and Canada, nobody fucking watches it? Is that what you've just discovered? And you're like desperate for, oh my god, we've got to get some hype.
I love how the groundbreaking diverse characters who bring the show to life and what it represents to so many people around the world. Oh, you mean like Star Trek has been doing since 1966? You know,
I'm gonna stab him in the face. I saw the Major Grin video. I heard that I was living for your tweets the other day, and then I heard that it was not good, not a good episode, and then I saw the Major Grin. I mean, the funniest thing obviously was the captain leaving the ship during a red alert. and then the little ship she was in got blowed up, and she's just there in the vacuum of space, chilling with a fucking dreadlock. Look at his slow-mo and look at her dreadlocks are like.
Well, here's when it speaks to that, here's what I can't understand. Like, okay, the Federation has presumably the best of the best. And if you're captain of the ship, you're captain of the ship. There's no one else. There's no other member of her crew that's better. I mean, it literally all the criticisms that you level at this show. Like, what I don't understand is I'm watching the show, right? I'm watching this episode. She's now ascended to the captaincy of the Discovery, and the first time it's the first episode of the season, and big doings, big happenings. And there's a red alert, and the first thing that she does while the Federation president is on board the ship, she's like, well, I have to leave. There's no one else. There's no one else under my command that is qualified to do this thing except
I believe
me.
her, though. I believe her.
Oh no, I do. But you can't expect me, anybody who knows anything about a pseudo military chain of command. You're watching this, and I'm like, okay, my hatred of this show is bottomless. But when I watch something like this is when I want to turn to everyone else and go, see, this is why I can't take this seriously. Because in any kind of a believable atmosphere, Star Trek was always about an ensemble of people that were really good at their jobs. it wasn't about it wasn't about one person who's good at doing everything. I mean, even Kirk, white cis male that he was, knew that he needed a crew of competent people to get the job done. Captain Kirk never said, "You know what? I know more about science than Spock, so I'm gonna just take care of this. I'm a better doctor than McCoy."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just you watch something like this, and I guess it's because the modern age, this idea that we've gotten rid of excellence, and we've gotten rid of people that are competent. Like everyone believes that they are able to do whatever comes their way, and this just reinforces that. And when I watch this show, I want to punch her in the face. And it's not because it's not about race or color or gender. It's about the fact that you are undermining the believability of the story that you're telling. I didn't know Major Grin did a video about the first episode of the season.
Yeah, he's too good. He's so good. Look, you say that, but last season, Saru went to fucking Tilly and said, "You're gonna be my number 2." And when he goes off ship, you're the captain. And I'm just thinking, all the people who are in the command fucking section of Star Trek just been like, what am I fucking training for here when you just go to fucking some fat ginger bitch who's been saying all fucking season, "I'm not good enough for this. I can't do this. I should have fucking done this." And then he's just gone, "I know you've been a crying bitch, and I know you're fucking useless, and you got no self-confidence, but you know what? I'm gonna make you captain." She had the fucking ship taken off her in 10 minutes.
I can't. It's very difficult because when you have other great science fiction shows, like I was reading an interview with Anthony Rapp, who plays Stamets. I think it was the interview with him. He doesn't even know. The actor doesn't understand the chain of command on the ship.
He doesn't know his job. None of them know the jobs.
Well, yeah, and I don't think any of the actors know, like, okay, what is the chain of command on the Discovery? If Burnham is off, like who takes over? Does anyone know?
Well, having not watched season 4, and having never heard of this streaming website that it's going to go on, I'm just gonna say, hey, look, I don't want to take a risk on that streaming website just in case. So I'll leave it to others to watch this series. I cannot even begin to fathom who is the number 2 in this ship, because if Saru is back on the ship, is he back on the ship?
Not yet.
Okay, right. So Saru's not on the on Discovery. Who the fuck is number 2 now?
I don't know.
Who's the commander? Who is the commander of the Discovery?
I don't know. Wow, Major Grin has done a number of videos. He's had 2 videos about the first episode of Discovery.
We've only seen the one. Ooh.
Oh, there's 2.
Nice.
And it's just you watch this stuff, and to me it speaks to a larger issue, and that is the decline of Western civilization in its entirety. And I think that I used to think that about Star Trek 09, that Star Trek 09 was an indicator of where Western civilization is going. But now it's like I live in California, and if the new thing in California this week is to send flash mobs en masse to rip off high-end retail stores. 80 people go into a Nordstrom's or a Louis Vuitton. You know, it's gotten to the point where,
hey, they're looking for bread, dude.
I get it. It's like, I guess that's what the world we're going to live in now. I mean, how long until people start going into doing en masse home invasions? when 80 people show
well,
up.
if there's no consequence, then very soon.
I mean, 80 people show up at your house, bust down your door, and ransack your domicile. We've had you're all of this. It's all the same thing. We are watching America is disintegrating before our eyes, and I blame Star Trek Discovery as part of the reason.
Well, I think this is going to sound so bigoted. It's unbelievable. I believe that Star Trek Discovery is the perfect example of inclusion and diversity does not work. And the meritocracy does. I think it's an absolute prime example of you can tick a box that doesn't make better stories, because all we hear is, the more diverse things are, the more stories can be told. Well, no, that's absolutely not the case, because you completely miss the point of people being able to see and understand and relate to people of different cultures from different cultures. You think you have to be a certain color to project to a certain color of people. That is not the case. It's never been the case. This is a modern sensibility that has only come in the last few years, and shows that we've got at the moment, I think, are clearly demonstrating in the West, because I don't think it's happening anywhere else in the world. We don't see India or Pakistan or Korea or Japan going, we need more inclusion and diversity. No, this is a Western phenomenon due to the far left political ideology, and it doesn't work.
No.
They have desecrated Star Trek. This is desecrate. This is you said vandalized. I watched your thing, and you said the word vandalized, and I used that terminology when it came to Doctor Who. But this is desecration to me. This is taking something which is pretty sacred to people and just absolutely tearing it apart, and it's just disgusting what they've done. Michael Burnham is one of the worst written characters in the history of fucking TV. Never mind fucking Star Trek.
I completely agree, and I don't. What I find really interesting is we celebrate, we collect all these things that we love. We collect representations of characters that are well written, well defined. That's why we like them. That's why we have the totemic representations of the characters we like. And it's not just the character. If you get a character by a figure from a movie that you like, you're celebrating the writing, the direction, the production and costume design, the actor playing the character, everything that character represents to you, and the movie it comes from or the TV show that it comes from is somehow meaningful in a way that you feel the need to go out and get a totem from whatever it is that represents the thing that you love. And there's so many levels and facets to when you have a favorite movie, what it means to you. When you buy an action figure, it's cool to have. There you go.
I don't have to be black to fucking appreciate Lando.
Nope.
I don't have to be fucking black to understand his character, to appreciate the nuance of it, the cockiness of him, the arrogance of him, the cleverness, the cleverness. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Hey, I've got Shuri sitting on the throne of Wakanda right behind my head.
The point is, though, we shouldn't even be. This isn't a game that we should be even fucking playing.
No, you're right.
Because this. I mean, that was a game to show that off. But it's a game that we shouldn't even be saying. It's like, how many gay friends do you have? Why do I have to have a gay friend to not be fucking bigoted? It's the far left is now just trophy collection. It's trophy collection.
No, it's really weird.
And they're not doing it because they support any of these different backgrounds or ethnicities or definitely not ideologies.
But I think what's even worse about Star Trek is that Star Trek was also, in terms of always being, say, diverse, it was about protecting excellence and cultures that had evolved to a point where not only were they worth saving, but a coalition of cultures that had come together that had mutual respect for one another. You know, the Federation was formed by, talking about diversity, different species, the Tellarites, the Andorians, you know, the Vulcans, the humans. I mean, these were cultures that were very different from one another, yet they banded together and they believed in intelligence. They believed in diversity in terms of having all people of all creatures of all walks of life banded together, and they believed in the ideals of the Federation.
Somebody,
You know,
tweeted at, well, like linked me in to a tweet from that fucking dipshit who calls himself the Star Trek communist. Stupid little fucking Vietnamese twat who is trying to promote communism in Star Trek and actually got pushed by StarTrek.com.
yes.
And you know, this buffoon, you're just like, hello, you're Vietnamese. You're Vietnamese and you're trying to be a fucking pro-communist. Okay, you know, we've already discovered your first fucking retardation. So somebody linked me in the other day to a tweet from them, and it was First Contact's 25th anniversary.
Right.
And they tweeted out First Contact, the most pro communist Star Trek film there is, and they linked a line from Picard where Picard's speaking to the lass on the Enterprise, and he says to her, "We're no longer, you know, like consumed with the pursuit of possessions," and he construed that to be, you know, communism. It's just like, no, they all have possessions. You can see they have possessions. They have trinkets. He has his ships. He has his, you know, flipping thingamajig from the archaeologist. You know, he has his own little trinkets. What he's saying is it's not the driving force of mankind. It's not the driving force. That's not what guides us.
Consumerism is no longer the driving force.
So yes, we have stuff, but it's not our driving force. Our driving force in Star Trek, in Starfleet, is to go out there, is to discover, is to be better, is to pursue excellence, is to discover strange new worlds. And yes, we might have trinkets, we might have a few trinkets, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to establish relationships with new races, new life, discover new and it's just like these idiots, these fucking mindless idiots that just don't understand basic themes anymore, because they have this fucking socialist ideology pushed on them. They don't even understand what it means. Don't even understand what it fucking means at all.
And the old chestnut. Oh, it's just never been put into proper. Communism has never been, and collectivism has never been put into use properly. That's my favorite. We're going to do it the right way.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see you in the mass grave, dude. I'll see you in the mass grave. Yeah, so that's that sort of thing just shows and epitomizes how they just don't understand Star Trek and what its true ideology was, what Gene Roddenberry's ideology actually was of this, you know, sort of united front going forward. And, you know, it didn't matter who, if you had a fucking Russian helmsman or a Japanese helmsman or a black communications expert or an alien scientist, it didn't matter. None of that mattered. Everybody was united with the same goal of discovery, going out there, meeting new life, discovering new life, new civilizations, and hopefully, you know, joining together in the betterment of mankind. Maybe even get some people in Starfleet. That'd be nice. But you know, there's the stupidity. These fucking retards. Right, there you go. Nice little rant there. Jobbers McGee with a £5 says, "What's the longest you've waited for a figure? It's been 2.5 year wait, but finally getting my Limb Toys Gunslinger tomorrow. Time to restart Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeehaw!
Yep. Good for you. That's good.
I think my longest is around about 18 months so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think my end game cap took a while. I mean,
that took 15 for me.
I think the thing I waited
months.
for the longest might have been the Millennium Falcon cockpit from Jazz Inc. From the time I ordered it.
Yeah.
But that the thing about it was I knew that, you know, you get in line. They came out. It took about when people started delivering them based on the position in line I was in. It took about a year from the time people started to get them that I got mine, because then we had a pandemic as well. But you know, there's Hot Toys figures I have on order that are not due out for 2 years.
Well, I'd say Hot Toys is a larger organization. You know, Jazz Inc. is a smaller organization. So I think that can be a bit, you know, bit harsh. Lane Kramer with a $5 says, so hey, Robert, are either of you getting the Chrome Mando, and how are you feeling on that Hot Toy figure? I got mine already. P.O.A. No, I'm not going to buy anything Mando related. Well, certainly not the Mandalorian. Maybe some Trooper related stuff again, because Pedro Pascal is a fucking idiot.
I did not pre-order that Chrome figure. It's great, but I already have 2 Mando figures, and I didn't need any more. I mean, if it's really, really good, I'll get it, but I didn't pre-order it.
With a $2. Hi, Rob. Hi, Hot Dog Diamond.
Hello there.
Shane O'Reilly with a €1 for the connoisseur mustache. And Shane O'Reilly with a €1 for the Hot Swag. Mugwump with a £5 says, So-So's classic Loki looks wonderful, but I'm loath to pay up for a character who shone, but in a show I just didn't enjoy. Ever have this problem? Oh, yes, absolutely. But I love Richard E. Grant, and I thought the little role that he did play in the show was great. He didn't bring the show down. He elevated the show. To me, he was easily the best character in his episode. And so that's why I'm going to get it. Because he was great. That look of Loki was great. And he was a bit of a boss in it. So I definitely understand your philosophy. But to me, there was only positives when it came to that character.
Plus, I mean, I just love the actor. I've loved the actor since I saw him in With Nail and I back in the 80s. And I'm a huge fan of his. So the fact that they picked him to be Loki, I would buy that. Even if I hated the show, I would still buy that figure. You know, and plus, to me, if you didn't like the show, he still represents classic Loki from the decades of comic books that I've read.
Yeah. You know, and that'd be great to go with your other, if you had other classic X-Men or Marvel characters, perfect fit. Fragaboom, Dan Fraga with a $2 says, big respect to my homie. Thank you, dude. Right back at you, man. Love you to pieces. Shane O'Reilly again with a €5 says, hi, gents. How are you fine gentlemen? I'm currently pursuing eBay for a Lego Millennium Falcon.
I would imagine the $700 one. $800.
Well, that ATA is looking.
Dude, I watched a build video of that. I actually watched a guy. It was a 10-minute build video. That AT-AT is incredible. The engineering. I was just looking at this, going, how did they possibly figure out how to engineer this thing? Like, I mean, we live in it's you know what? If you are a person if you're deeply cynical, go watch one of these. Then there's some great Lego channels, but watch a build video. There's one, it's 10 minutes long. This guy does a great job. It's speeded up, but the however they figured out how to engineer it. Now, I'm sure they've probably got computer programs and schematics where they explode out a like, here's what we want it to look like, and they use AI or computer technology and they figure out how they can engineer it all based on the parts they can make. But don't care. It's so marvelous to watch the engineering that Lego comes up with for an $800. I get it. It's a Lego set. It's $800. It's from The Empire Strikes Back. It's an AT-AT. There's all kinds of cynical things you could say, but you can't not watch that video and feel a sense of awe and wonder about how they actually figured out how to use Lego to engineer that AT-AT. I mean,
no, I
come on.
totally agree, man. I totally agree.
That's one of the things I love about YouTube. Build videos for the AT-AT, the Lego AT-AT.
Oh no, so I have to address this in the chat. Oh dear. At HeelvsBabyface, I made a rookie error and ordered 2 large fries from the chippy. Oh, dude. When you order large fries from the chip, first of all, they're not fries, they're chips. Okay. Secondly, they come in a bag about the size of my 2 hands together. That's one. Okay. So even without having to read the rest, I know that you've just received like a mountain of fucking chips. Assuming they would be like the size of McDonald's large fries. No. Fries, chips, fish and chips, fries, French fries, thin cut.
But as
chips.
I have to ask you, he's got a plate of 3 pounds of fries, according to him.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? That means you're going to have a good afternoon.
Low starch, dude. Can you vamp for 2 minutes? I need to run for a quick whiz and fill my water.
Yes, I can. I can vamp.
I will put you full screen as well.
Well, hello. Should I sing a song now? No. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, and I can't show the pictures, but there is a new Hot Toys black suit Spider-Man figure from Spider-Man No Way Home that has it's a Spider-Man suit. It's really cool, but it also looks like it has some kind of, I don't know, cosmic power running through it or ancient power. It's got gauntlets and it has looked vaguely Doctor Strange something. I mean, I think it has something to do with when Spider-Man takes that box away from Doctor Strange and he's like, don't do it, kid. And Spider-Man does it. I don't know exactly what's going on, but he somehow possesses some arcane power that becomes part of this suit. Well, it just dropped. You can now buy this, and unlike some Hot Toys that you have to wait for, apparently you can get this and it will be shipped to you from Toys Wonderland today if that's what you want. And that's exciting. And I have to tell you, this is the thing that has vexed me. Do I buy this suit? I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. But it's one of those things where a viewer asked earlier about, well, would you buy the Loki figure even if you didn't like it? Here's the thing. There are cool figures and cool images in movies that I'm not a particular fan of, but I do like certain character designs. Like, for instance, I was not a huge fan of the Alien versus Predator franchise, but Hot Toys made a lot of Predator figures from those movies, and they were damn good figures. Really cool. I mean, I love the Predator figures. The Hot Toy designs are great. They come with so many accessories, and even though I didn't love Alien versus Predator, I love the Predator. So, you can get, I mean, philosophically, you could get as many Predators as you want if you like them. And Hot Toys does a really good job with the characters themselves. So if you like the Predator, the weapons they come with, they're packed with accessories. So I would say, yeah, man, buy some Predator figures if you like them. And if they don't come from a movie you particularly like, I think it's still possible to like the characters and like the design. It really comes down to, like, what is it that you particularly enjoy? What is the thing? What is your jam? And I think that's really all that matters is if you like a character, it's up to you. And that's what you should buy. Buy what you love. And hey, I was going to ask you, as Toys Wonderland does have that black suit Spider-Man. It's on the front. Can you call that up and show a few pictures? Because again, I want to get this figure kind of, but I kind of want to wait and see in the movie. I mean, I like the figure. I don't quite know what's all going on there, but this Robin figure is a good example. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Titan show. It's hit or miss, but I look at this as a great physical representation of Robin in live action, and I really like this figure. So that's why. Yeah, so there we go. There's the Spider-Man, the black suit Spider-Man. I don't quite, so it's not the symbiote suit, obviously.
No, this has got like Doctor Strange magical carvings in them.
Yeah, magical stuff going on there. I mean, I do like this suit. I like it. I think it's cool. I don't know if I like it enough because it's kind of weird. I mean, look at those, like, what are those gauntlets on his? Is he wielding power, and certainly power emanates from him?
Well, you have seen in the trailer that there's like magical shit coming from that.
There's magical shit coming from that. And is that after he steals Doctor Strange's box or something and he's wielding magic powers? I don't know. When I look at this, I mean, I like Spider-Man, but this is away from classic Spider-Man. And to me, I look at this and think, okay, it's cool, but I don't know if I like it as far as Spider-Man goes. There must be, if something happens in the, and I was trying to relate this back to the Richard Grant Loki thing. Even if you don't like the Loki show, I love Richard E. Grant and I love the classic Loki costume. This is a little goofy to me. This looks, is it ancient Egyptian Spider-Man channeling mystical energy? Like, what is this?
I would say this is MCU. That's how I categorize it. This is MCU stuff. It's an offshoot.
And you can see if you click on one of those things that's on the bottom there, how he's wielding like mystical power, and that takes it further away from what I like about Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man, but it's un-Spider-Man, and it goes to this movie. Like, yeah, look at this. Like, so he's clearly got mystical Doctor Strange-esque powers,
magic webs, and
and if it's
that's the red, old gauntlet, by the way. This is gone now. This red stuff is all gone now.
Yeah. Yep. And or maybe it changes during the course of the film. I don't know. It's kind of interesting and kind of weird, but I don't know if I love this figure yet.
No, not right now. I got a feeling that figure. I might be being cynical here, but I got a feeling that figure is going to be very available. Mr. Bug, there is no third-party Cara Dune.
Not yet.
Not yet. But if there is, I would snap one up. I would absolutely snap one up. No problem whatsoever. Maybe even get a couple and do a giveaway of a couple as well. Fragaboom, Dan Frogger again with another $2 says, I need my 40k paint up, pal. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some 40k stuff in the new year, going into the new year. When the toy show's ready, and that's, this is all done. There's gonna be some 40k stuff going on.
Nice.
Ubu Roy with a €20. Thank you. Says, hi, Az, I'm sending a Christmas gift from the Netherlands to your P.O. box. It might just be a special item, which was mentioned very briefly on Hot Toys a couple of weeks ago. I happened to see it when I was in a toy store.
Wow.
Cryptic. I'm excited.
My shore troopers landed, by the way.
Oh, they're here.
Since we've been on the show, yeah.
Nice. Do you want to grab them, or?
It would take me too far to get them.
Oh, okay. The Fixer with a £2 says, as RMB, have either of you seen Arcane yet? Not yet, but I do intend to.
Yep, I watched a little bit of it. I watched the first 3. I guess it was released in blocks of 3, although I only saw 3. It's really good. Really.
Do you know what's not really good?
I don't know. I try not to watch things that aren't really
Masters
good.
of the Universe Revelations Part 2.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Jesus. Okay. Man of War 665, neighbor of the beast, with a $6.65 super chat. Do you or someone you know have a chair addiction? A chair addiction, he spaced for some reason, addiction. If so, dial 1-800-DETHRONE. That's 1-800-DETHRONE. Take a stand on seat dependency.
Gosh, I wonder who that's directed at.
No idea. I have no idea. Surely can't be somebody here. Pterosaur 1982 with a $10 says, ordered my white whale of toys on Amazon. A show accurate version of Pterosaur from Beast Wars. Never thought it'd get made. It's the Transformers Golden Disc Collection. Score! Cheers all. Nice. It's nice when there's a toy that, there's a toy that you specifically like, and then they just make a really good version. Like, I loved Rodimus Prime with Transformers, and then they've made some incredible versions of Rodimus Prime. Over the course of the years, the Masterpiece stuff was just wunderbar. Pirate Queen with a $5 says, I love The Trouble with Harry with John Forsythe and Shirley MacLaine.
Good movie. Good.
HVP with a $2 says, hey guys, how do you shuffle new toys and space? Fucking difficult.
It's hard.
Great difficulty.
You try and anticipate, never works.
Yeah. I'm legit thinking of getting a storage facility and just storing the stuff which I'm not going to be displaying to clear room, clear space.
I can see that.
La 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 la. Oh la la. Ladard with a 25 checks hamburger super sticker. Chris C with a $5 says, hey guys, have you seen the 1 in 3 Picard by Darkside Collectibles? Sideshow has it for pre-order. Yeah.
Now, I have something to say about this figure.
Yeah. Boom. There it is.
So, okay, now look at this figure. Now, I would say if you go in and they're doing a Spock from Star Trek 2, I think this figure is really good it's a statue. So it's not a figure, it's a statue. If you get in close to the head sculpt is really great. But I'll tell you what I don't like about this figure, and it bugs the crap out of me. I mean, that's a pretty damn good head sculpt. Pretty good. I mean, it looks great. It's a statue. Now, I like mixed media statues, and when you get a statue of a character like this, I almost want the clothing to be fabric. His
eyebrows need to be darker.
Yeah. But here's what I really can't stand about this figure, and I really hate it. I hate the base. The base drives me. What I want from my figure base, and this is something that they do. This is a Darkside Collectibles issue. I mean, look, everything they're doing here, all that stuff is really okay. I hate this base. I hate this base that says Captain Picard. It's like wearing a t-shirt of your favorite character. If you're wearing a Captain Picard shirt, you don't need it to say Captain Picard on the shirt. And while the Starfleet Command base is kind of cool, I guess, what I want him to be standing on the deck plate of the Enterprise. I don't need it to say Captain Picard in the Next Generation title font. Because one, that breaks the fourth wall. In the universe of Star Trek, they don't know what that font is. And they certainly don't use it. Star Trek The Next Generation. The people in Star Trek The Next Generation do not know they're in a TV show called Star Trek The Next Generation. No. I want a base that adds to the 24th century reality of it all. And I don't like and if you look at what Darkside statues do, they've done some beautiful work, but it's like Dante from Devil May Cry. If you have a really cool statue of Dante, I don't want it to say Dante on the statue. I want the whole statue to be part of the experience of the statue. And when I look at this sign that says Captain Picard, it makes me want to scoop my eyes out with the teaspoon.
Yeah,
And
I
I know
kind
that's
of
me
understand what you mean.
I'm being bitchy. I know.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit harsh, but at the same time, you know, the person's buying a Picard statue because they know it's fucking Jean-Luc Picard.
Right. Right.
You know, they don't need who was this character I bought again? Oh, it's Captain Picard. You know, they know what they're getting. I think sometimes less is more, and I think this base is very busy.
It is. That's another thing. It is very busy. And, you know, I know that the point of a figure is to get a great figure. I do understand that. But there's a philosophy, like I think the great statues, and we're getting a lot of great statues. The great statues have philosophy behind them. And when you're getting something from like Prime 1, the way it's posed, it's the whole experience
Yeah.
of the statue. And I think this, to me, this diminishes the character in the sense that, in case you didn't know, I mean, maybe you could get away with that Starfleet Command base, but that's something that's hanging on a wall. That's not something where Captain Picard would be standing on that base like that.
Well, that's a coaster to me.
Right, yeah.
You know, that's where I'm putting my cup of coffee or my tea, Earl Grey hot. That's where I'm putting that. It's yeah,
and
I get it, I understand.
And on their Spock, they make a Spock too that's also at Sideshow with the Federation flag, and it's cool stuff. I get it, but there's a design sensibility that I think it lacks. Although I think it's the face sculpt is good, and I like the proportions and all that. But I would much rather have a statue. If it's a third scale statue, can they make a uniform for it, like a actual fabric uniform?
Fabric, yeah.
know.
Bayeki Thump Gum. Pedro, the powerful pedo. Must be from Hollywood. With a £2 says, say it with me, Rob. Horror.
Horror. Let's all dance the horror.
Horror. The whore. Wait, what? What just happened there? Buffer T Justice with a $50 super chat. Buffer T Justice, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, Robert and Az, even though you're a Brit as. Long live real Star Trek. Amen. Because they certainly want to try and push it out of history by the looks of it, don't they? Winky Wanky Woo with a £5 says, Q for Robert. Did you ever meet Ed Bunker? If not, what do you think of his writing?
Eddie Bunker, he was Mr. Blue in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
I liked his writing a lot. He did a lot of screenwriting, and he was a playwright as well. And I thought he was a pretty good writer, a pretty good screenwriter, actually. And I thought he was a really good actor as well. You know, he wasn't as good as, say, someone like Sam Shepard, but he was definitely a very good writer and a very good actor.
Nice. Justin Doyle, with a £10 says, good evening, gentlemen. I want to own an Iron Man model, but I am not sure which one to get as I'm new to model collecting. Don't really want to break the bank if I can help it. Any advice from a noob? And he follows it up with another £5 super chat and says a T800 would be cool as well. Well, at the moment, you'll be breaking the bank for one of those. You would have to give us a budget before we. I think we could even begin to answer that. You'd have to give us a budget. If you could give us a budget, I could throw some ideas at you. But you know, like the hot toy. But to kind of give you an idea, if you're wanting a statue, you're paying £500-600 plus shipping plus import fees most of the time. If you're purchasing a 1 in 6, then the die-cast stuff usually around £350 plus shipping and import tax. So it tends to come to around 450 delivered. But they are, they are great quality, those 1-in-6s.
By the way, I just want to the question that somebody asked.
Mm.
I couldn't remember the name of it. Edward Bunker wrote a book that I read when it first came out called Animal Factory. That's why I couldn't remember. I didn't know if it was Animal Farm or whatever. Animal Factory about San Quentin prison, and it's pretty incredible.
Mm.
And it's definitely, if you're interested in the American prison system, definitely something.
I've watched some great Louis Theroux documentaries on the American prison system. Holy shit. I tell you what, just watching that documentary makes me never want to commit crime.
No.
Never. Not be incarcerated. Drunk 3PO. Shout out to Drunk 3PO with a $5 super chat. Says, keep the rebellion going, as. Keeping it going. And then Hocus Pocus, your nan drives a Focus with a £4.50. Says, yo, as on the topic of the Kyle stuff with self-defense, protecting yourself, do you think it's time to legalize guns in the UK to protect ourselves? No, because we don't have any of the gun issues that America has. So there's no point in making that an equation. So no, there's no point. We don't have that problem. Jay Fraser 360 with a £5 says, off topic, as your Friday Night Tights rant on the Rittenhouse verdict was amazing. People who are uninformed should zip their mouths, delete their Twitter, and take note. Thank you, but I mean, it's just so annoying having actually watched the trial and watched the evidence, watched the prosecution, watched the defense, watched the witnesses, to see just such ignorance on Twitter when it came to the verdict. There was just going through the trial. It was almost an impossibility the man was going to be found guilty. The evidence fully supported self-defense by some very being set upon by some very disgusting people. And although I do not take human life lightly at all, let's just say there's quite a few people who are much safer today with the removal of those people as well, particularly children from Rosenbaum, and particularly women from Skateboard Dude. Maram 218 with a $5 says, as we be getting the 1-in-6 Django Fett figure. But I've been looking at it.
Yeah, me too.
I've been looking at it. I got so many different Mandalorians now. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I would say. Right. There we are with the Supery Dupreys, and we're caught up there. Anything else? Because it's been a light week. There's nothing. Hot toys haven't.
Holiday. I mean, there's nothing more. I mean, other than no.
So we can wrap this up. Nice. You can go off and have a look at your Shore Troopers.
I go look at my Shore Troopers, get some lunch, then get ready for my next stream.
Nice. Yeah, you doing observation?
Yes, gonna do observations.
And then tomorrow, what you got planned for Thanksgiving?
We have kind of a big family gathering. It's a lot of fun. Elizabeth's stepdad and the family, they have a really nice house going over to Redlands and hanging out. It's always lovely to see everybody. It's always a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wrong one. Hocus Pocus, your nan drives a Focus, has jumped in again with another £4.50 saying, just want to pop in again, but looking to start a comic collection and a figure and a figures. Any recommendations for a starter? Comic collections have got to start with which superheroes you like.
Yeah.
You know, simple as that. Who do you like?
And then I would also ask, like, do you want to collect comic books, like individual issues, or are you going to collect graphic novels or omnibuses? Does that matter to you, or do you actually want to collect individual issues? I'll tell you, I mean, I've got thousands and thousands of comics. Don't want them. I've bought all of my significant comics that I love. I've rebought them as omnibuses. You know, sometimes when you get like the absolute versions of, like, I love the absolute versions of, say, Swamp Thing, the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. They look incredible. And yeah. So it depends. It really depends what you want out of them. So if you want individual issues and collect individual comics, that's a cool thing. Or do you just want the comic stories? And if you want the comic stories, I would say look into the higher end stuff, like the absolute versions of Kingdom Come or the Dark Knight Returns or Sandman, if you like DC, and if you like other omnibuses like the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or Captain America, the Marvel omnibuses are a really nice way to go.
I would also say, you know, make sure that you can as well, you know. Once you start falling into rabbit holes of collections, then all manner of shit can happen. Speaking of all manner of shit, Hitchhiker 42 with a £2 says, Rob, are you looking forward to the XO6 Star Trek Discovery figures?
No. And I understand it's going to be really interesting to see if those sell. I will say this, of the 3 that they're releasing, I would buy, if I had to buy one, if I had to buy a Star Trek Discovery figure, the only Star Trek Discovery figure I said I would ever buy is the Mirror Universe Empress Georgiou figure.
Which they are releasing.
I would buy that. And if it's a good figure and XO6 has done a great job, I love Michelle Yeoh. I like the Mirror Universe. I would buy that figure. But I can't stand the blue Discovery uniforms. So I would never buy those figures. I do not want Saru and I do not want Michael Burnham. And even if they do, I mean, they fixed the uniforms for Strange New Worlds, but to me, all of that stuff is not what I want in my life.
What? You're not looking forward to Khan's granddaughter?
Yeah, no. The retconning of Star Trek is just incredibly frustrating to me.
Remember Khan?
You mean Benedict Cumberbatch?
Why is Khan's granddaughter? Never, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Khan, yeah, Benedict, white boy Benedict.
There's somebody in Starfleet named Noonien Singh that's actually serving on the Enterprise before they find Khan. Terrible.
I know, just garbage. Just unmitigated garbage. Okay, we'll wrap it up there, folks. So massive thank you to everyone who came and watched today. Really do appreciate it. Rob, is there anything that you would like to plug before we gozy?
Well, domestically, hey, over the Thanksgiving weekend, if you want to see a fun family independent comedy, rent Tango Shalom from Amazon, and please give us a 5-star review. It helps us sell the movie to a streaming service. So yeah. And if you hate it, write me hate mail.
No, don't write me hate mail.
And then if you want, you should watch Dota Dragon's Blood on Netflix. It's a series I work on. The 2nd season's dropping in January.
Nice. By the way, Man of War 665 Neighbor of the Beast has been a member of the Jedi Master level for 18 months and says Necker the Frog, Captain Blake, 8-inch figure.
Captain Blake, the Fog Age. That figure is
Necker
great.
The Fog, Captain
I love
Blake.
That. I love that figure. It's really cool. I might have to get that.
Wow, that's
I just wish I would much rather. The problem is I just don't collect any different kinds of figures anymore. You know, it's all 6 scale.
Yes, it's 6th scale. Hocus Pocus, Yunan tries to focus again with a £4 for these super chats. Says, I'm into the Red Hood style heroes, but I'm a noob with all the collection stuff. P.S. Apologies about the names. If you're into Red Hood, check out stuff like Punisher, maybe Deadpool for something a little bit lighter, a bit of comedy in there as well. Deathstroke, the Terminator, Suicide Squad, those type of titles. Look for those. I would start with some of the 80s and the 90s stuff if you can. You could probably pick some up pretty cheap for those runs with those characters. Maybe not the Deathstroke stuff, but that's the kind of, if that's the kind of stuff that you're into, I would jump into some of that. So big thank you, like I said, to everyone who came, watched. A huge thank you to everyone who hit the join button, became a member, hit the super chat button, and supported the channel that way. Thank you to my mods. Vanessa's there, Jennifer's there. I saw Purple Valkyrie earlier as well, so thank you for modding away, you lovely ladies. And because there is no Squid Game tomorrow, because Thanksgiving for America, I'm going to do the super chat square up from the Real BBC starting at 6 p.m. UK time, and we got a nice 3 hours. 3 hours to just go through that at leisure and have a chit chat and a bit of a laugh, hopefully. And then at 9 o'clock, I'll be jumping into the Critical Drinkers stream, and we'll be discussing Predator.
Nice.
We'll be having a chit chat about Predator. So hopefully, people have got a bit of spare time on Thanksgiving. You might have a little bit of funsies with those, because next week we're on Fully Articulated on Robert's channel. I think it's probably best if we just do part 5 on your channel the day after. Keep it all locked up on.
Yeah, because then we can do 6 channels on your channel.
And I'll do episode 6 on mine, 7 on yours, 8 on mine, 9 on yours. So we'll just do it that way. Just makes things a lot easier. I like it when things are tidy and streaming, at least anyway. So you take care, everyone, and bye.